Hi, everybody. Today, we are going to do a very interesting video. We are going to talk about mastering your communication persona, because we are talking about how to speak with impact and influence. We believe it should be a positive influence. And over here, we have Dana Horvath. I'm always having trouble with your surname. Directly from beautiful Cluj. You have Cluj in your background, and I have Lisbon. So, Dana, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Thank you for having me, and good evening, everyone. As Filipe said, my name is Dana Horvath. I'm an NLP coach. That means applied psychology. I'm a trainer, a mind trainer, and a voice activator. In a practical sense, I help professionals. I help students to overcome their emotional barrier and speak with confidence, and empowering them to speak confidently in public.
Thank you, Dana. I'm Filipe Carrera. I'm a speaker, trainer, a professor in several universities, and I normally say that I'm paid to talk. So it's a very nice work that I have. So today we are going to talk about this mastering your communication persona, how to speak with impact and influence. And I have a question for you, Dana.
Please.
And the question is your inner dialogue your biggest ally or your worst enemy?
This is an interesting question, Filipe. Well, first of all, let's see, what is inner dialogue? What is inner dialogue? We have dialogue with other people outside our body, right? But inner dialogue, that's something different. It's that voice in our head that evaluates the way we speak, the way we do something, and criticizes us or encourages us. It's like a internal professor that gives us marks, how well we did, right, in an action or in a conversation. You probably have situations like this when in your head you feel like, oh, you do something and there's the voice that says, I should have done this better. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Or if you're in a presentation, sometimes it activates inside the head and it says, oh God, are these people interested in what I have to say? Am I convincing enough? Am I persuasive enough? What do they think about me? That's the self-talk. And so the question is it our greatest ally or our greatest enemy? Well, first of all, we need to say that everyone has this inner voice. So we are not crazy. That's a good news, right? Since everyone has it.
And it's good that we have it.
And it's good that we have it. Indeed, it would be worse if we didn't. So it can be, so to speak, our worst enemy if we listen to its critical voice, right? But it can be our greatest ally if we actually have in our head encouraging thoughts and self-confidence thoughts. That's why we need to practice the positive thoughts for ourselves, so encouraging thoughts. If you want, I can give you 3 steps, 3 ideas on how to train our mind to make of our inner voice our greatest ally. Would you like that?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
If they are short.
Because we are working with applied psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are in public, when you speak in public or in any setting, when you need to speak in any setting and you realize there's this voice like, going in there, Les Brown says the monkey talk, monkey talk, first of all, you acknowledge that it's there. Yeah. So you can even ask yourself in your head, interesting thought. This is an interesting thought. Is this my thought? Because many times, many thoughts we have are ours, but many we don't produce. They're from the external influences. So, interesting thought. Is this mine? Second step, You can either choose to say to it like you shout to someone, shut up, I'm in control. Or if you want to be kinder to your monkey talk, to your inner voice, then you can say, okay, I hear you and I choose to think differently, or I choose to be my supporter. Yeah, because believe it or not, you can choose how to think, you can choose implicitly how to feel, and implicitly how to talk or how to behave. So test these three ideas. And I have one last one if you want to try. If you are in a conversation or in a public speech, and you don't find a solution on the spot, you need a solution on the spot, and you're not that inspired, ask your mind, which is like a Google search. Just ask it, what's the best or easiest idea, way to deal with this? Because the mind has the solutions for you. You just have to put it to work. So if you test these ideas, I think you can make of your mind, of your inner dialogue, your greatest ally.
So that's a very good advice.
Thank you so much. And speaking of advice, Filipe, I know you're very knowledgeable. I heard you speak in Bucharest at Biz Club Connect, and your expertise and the way you speak and you teach made me come and approach you. And that's the result. Today's live is our result of that conversation. Would like to learn from you. Would you be happy to answer a question for us?
Yes, please.
Would you say that we are in control of our brain, or is it controlling us?
Well, let me tell you a small story.
Please do.
One time, in the middle of a forest, in the middle of the night, I had to do a fire walk. Fire walk is a very, let's say, revealing thing. You need to do something that is very important. You need to have like an inner dialogue with your brain, because you are barefooted and you're about to walk on fire, literally. And our brain is saying, do not do that because it is dangerous. You will get burned. But there is a technique to do so. And if you do the technique, you will not get burned. But your brain until the last moment is like, you are absolutely crazy. And why I'm saying this is because we need to control the brain, because when we are speaking in public, it is considered one of the biggest fears that anybody in the world has, is speaking in public. It's maybe there are people out there that would prefer to do bungee jumping than talk to an audience of 1,000 people. Okay, it would be easier. I prefer to talk with an audience of 1,000 people for sure. But this is really one of the biggest fear, and it's because we have this imposter syndrome that, are we good enough? Can we do it? And we need to overcome that. And for that, we need to do this. You were talking about talking with yourself, and it's about that. You need to talk with yourself, because we have, as mankind, we have been doing it for a long time. Maybe it was through meditation, praying, or really talking with yourself. You are not crazy if you are talking with yourself, but you really need to have that inner dialogue. And talking about audience, Dana, I want your advice how you can truly connect with an audience, or you are only talking just to speak into a void. What is your opinion?
Well, first of all, if we were to connect with our audience through some kind of technology, would be easier, because you just pass a QR code and that's it, you're connected with them, right?
Yep.
But we also have this inner technology, let's put it that way, which is some kind of invisible connection with our audience, right? And the purpose of this connection is to transmit information, valuable information that you have for their good, for to make them feel empowered and informed. And so And there is this internal technology, to put it that way, or connection rather, that is not wireless. Well, it is wireless, it's not Bluetooth, but it is an invisible connection that when you have it with your audience, you feel listened, you feel appreciated. And when you don't have it, you also feel it, because you kind of perceive intuitively that your audience is not that interested, it's not that involved. So what's to be done? What I tested, and many of the clients I work with have put into practice, is again 3 steps I encourage you to test. The first one is intention setting. Intention setting means that you as a speaker, as an educator, before you meet your audience, you could just think, I want to serve these people. I want to serve them. I want to be here for them as a trainer in your role to give them valuable experience. Then when you are in front of your audience, you can visualize, if you want, or you can think of this invisible connection, invisible wire between you and them that starts from your head, like you can imagine center of your forehead, that goes towards them, and it's like a two-way connection. And then you can even visualize this connection from your heart to their hearts, because the heart is energy generator, isn't it? Just like our brain hemispheres. So here we are talking about the power of your intention, the power of your thoughts, of your thinking. Test that. Secondly,
by the way, don't use that kind of visualization that some people say, imagine everybody naked or something like that.
Oh my God. Well, for some people may work to feel even more connected, you know. I mean, everyone makes their choice, you know. And so you said about roles earlier, right? You certainly need to be in the right role for your audience. In the sense that if you had a phone call, for instance, a conversation before your speech with someone in your family, then you were in the role of the family member. But another thing you can do with your thinking is to literally say to yourself, I'm coming out of the role of before, what you were before, and get into the role of trainer, of educator, whatever your role is. This way, what your mind does, which is like a Google search, it activates resources and ways of delivering the messages that are suitable for the exact audience you have in front of you. How does it sound?
It sounds great.
Yes. And the third point is, don't believe me, test it. Intention.
It has to be practice, practice, practice.
Always. Well, always. And when you activate these principles, when you test these principles and actually you can see what they bring for you, and then you can speak with impact, confidence, and mostly confidence, really, and you arrive to the mind and to the hearts of your audience. And that's how you know you really serve them.
Very good advice, as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. These principles have been tested over the years and by myself, the clients I work with, and I believe it can bring you the results that you wish in terms of your audience listening to you carefully and wanting to listen to you even more. And why not? Then have further clients. So, Filipe, can we learn a little bit more from you tonight?
Yeah, with pleasure. Tell me what you want to know.
We talked about your audience listening to you and being invested in the messages you have to deliver for them and the guidance that you provide. So we'd like to learn from you, from your expertise of over a decade of teaching and coaching and training. Why would someone listen to you? Why should your audience listen to you? How is it worth their time?
You know, that should be, and that is in my case, the first question that I make when doing any kind of presentation. Why people are going to invest their scarcest resource, time. The time that we had, that we invested will never come back.
True.
Money can come back, assets can come back, time never comes back. So when people are paying attention to you, they are giving to you their most precious resource, that is time. So the
True.
first question that you have to have in your mind is why they are listening to you. So it is a question of serving the audience and not ego trip. Okay. So we need to address that. And we need to understand that it is, people are there not to listen to, let's say, a compilation of other people's knowledge, because for that they would read a book. They want to get your point of view. And for that, for instance, it's very important to use storytelling. Storytelling not about others, but what is your experience in what you are talking. So that is absolutely important. And Dana, you might not believe it, but the time has passed. We had this idea of 15 minutes and we did a little bit more. So this means that we have to do it again. And
willingly.
so and because we had some problems with the live, so this is a recorded one. So we will make it available recorded, but next time we will for sure do it live, because I will see into these problems.
Certainly.
So, Dana, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for sharing. I love this kind of conversation because it's always an opportunity to learn. You never have too much experience. You never have too much knowledge. So thank you very much, Dana, for sharing. And
thank you for having me, Filipe. And I look forward to seeing you next time and to serving our audiences together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.